Yo.
Ricky!
What?
Oh, there he
Oh,
is.
hi.
Yep, he's fucking black right there. Okay, get
Mm.
your fucking beverages. God damn it.
Independent media has risen to become a watchdog of corporate media spaces.
And how they function largely as corporate and government propaganda machines. But who's been holding independent media spaces accountable?
Who's watching the watchdogs? Many independent media spaces are just independent spaces seeking to take up mainstream media's role as propaganda-spewing profit centers.
Father Teresa's Wine Cellar and Americans United again present Social Justice Bullies, a podcast that focuses on accountability within independent media spaces.
Hosted by Father Teresa's Wine Cellar founder, William J. Jackson, and Americans United Again founder, Ricky L. Hines II. This show will also feature social justice activists being open and honest about the problematic actions and people in independent media spaces.
Why are we social justice bullies?
Because apparently confronting people on how their actions perpetuate oppression
And injustice makes you a bully.
And what better reason to be called a bully?
but for justice.
Check out FTWC and AUA present
Social justice bullies, because being petty for social justice is revolutionary.
Because being petty for social justice is revolutionary.
Because being petty for social justice is revolutionary.
All right. And social justice bullies, holy fuck, fucking post Thanksgiving, post black ass motherfucking Friday. Jesus Christ, who's going on? Is somebody, Ricky L. Hines, Americans United over there. Lisa Loco, Jesus Christ, you got blogs, you got guerrilla feminism, you're on the wine cellar over there, you're doing all sorts of shit down at conferences, keeping it all the way gangster. Niggas is black. Feeny Loco over there, somewhere around over there, roundabout Midwest. About 8 feet of fucking snow. Jesus, ballsacking Christ. And me, William J. Black ass motherfucker. I almost had to choke this boy at work. I'm gonna hurt him. I'm gonna hurt him good. Somebody better make Jesus exist. Come save me, goddammit. So, Breitbart, Donald Trump, Republican shit. That damn boy. That boy was like, listen here, Mr. Obama, how come Muhammad Ahmed, how come he get to visit the White House and I don't get to visit the White House? Because I think I'm relevant for some reason. He's trying to shake his Republican stripes. He'll be a libertarian in a dime. He fucking sucks. But you know what? I don't have my full. Where's the swagger? I got nothing. What's going on with this Breitbart black ass Ricky?
Apparently. Yeah. Why does that always happen? Well, most of the people are aware of what happened with the shooting or terrorist attack, really, is what it was, at Planned Parenthood in Colorado Springs. Um, so Breitbart was initially reporting that the uh, shooting was a bank robbery gone wrong, until they were promptly corrected by the the Chase Bank, or actually Chase's Twitter account. Um, that that is all I have for you at the moment. That's
Hey,
Yeah,
a bank robbery, yeah?
bank robbery. That
Fuck.
Because there was a bank there, apparently it was a bank robbery.
I mean, Jesus Christ. I've done some clickbaity shit, but like that is a higher level of no research. That's not even no, that's just what did they look at fucking Google Maps? They said the shooting was here. Google Maps that shit. Bank robbery. Who the fuck was at the wheel? How easy is it to get a job with them? Shit.
You just
Yeah,
have to be mediocre, white, and conservative. You are
yes.
you're like swimwear, bruh.
Oh my gosh, these fucking guys. So who are these fucking people? Who are these? They're hurting my feelings. So who is this? David Delayden is nervous that Planned Parenthood will blame Friday's shooting on a Colorado Springs abortion clinic on him and his videos. Really?
Oh, you
Really?
mean
What's his?
talking about they're killing babies and harvesting baby parts? Oh, no, you mean somebody actually heard that and got mad enough to go shoot up a Planned Parenthood because you were lying to them? No. Really? Really? You're afraid that people might think that, although it's probable, and that's kind of the consequences of putting stupid shit out like that? Oh, no. No. Poor white mediocrity. No. It's fucking.
Man, let me see this fucking guy. What's this guy's deal? All right.
Here's
Like,
what
you put out political.
I want you to speak to. Carly Fiorina, very passionately in the debate, very cogently, brings across this image.
So this is this David Daleiden on the CNN. See what's going on here. So it looks like he's going to make an admission.
Of an aborted baby on the table, the heart beating, the legs moving. Look at that video and then tell me what you think. Let me ask you about that image. Is that an aborted fetus that's on that in that image?
You know, I actually in the studio I don't have a visual of what you're showing me, so I'm
You know
I'm
what
not
I'm
sure
talking
exactly.
about.
I don't have a visual what you did. Nigga, quit leading in, motherfucker. This fucking guy. This fake ass Tony Robbins looking motherfucker. This guy.
What you're showing me.
It's a miscarriage.
What up?
I don't have the video that you're showing me because, you know, I only made it. I've never seen that video. I've only just made it. That's all.
Oh, this guy. I don't know what video you're showing me. You don't know what the fucking
Yours. I don't know who's but you know what though? It's again conservative logic 101. Deny, deny, deny. Then when you're caught, deny some more.
David Daleiden. Do you recognize this picture of David Daleiden? I don't know who the fuck that guy is. I ain't never seen him.
Wasn't me. But it's you producing. It's you with signing your name. The signatures matched up. Now you're trying to get all sciencey on me. That is not me.
Sciencey negative.
It's the government. That's what it is. They must have figured out how to clone people.
Yeah, but not the Republicans who are in power.
Well, you know the mother was interviewed. You know you didn't ask her for permission for it, but that's beside the point. It is not what Carly Fiorina.
What up?
Like, how is that beside the point? Like, oh, you know that unsolicited, you know that interview that you gave that the person didn't give you permission to use. Oh yeah, that's let's put that aside for a second. What? Okay, all right. If you have to leave that out the door, then you've already fucked up. If you have to put that aside, then you're already wrong. Because anytime anybody concedes, you know what? I'll concede the fact that or let's just forget the fact that you put up, you know, an interview with someone who didn't give you authorization to do so. What else worse have you done?
I don't know. And these people never seem to get caught up in the fucking terrorist attacks.
Fiorina was. That's not what Carly Fiorina was referencing. Carly Fiorina was referencing the sequence in our video that shows footage of a born-alive infant from a late-term abortion actually moving in a specimen pan, while Holly O'Donnell, who used to work at STEM Express, is talking about the harvesting of a brain of an infant of the exact same gestation.
Oh, so you don't think you think it's a different image? You think it's a different image than the one that was pointed out by the mother?
If you're showing the image of Walter Fretz right now, that's not the image.
All right, that's not, I don't know the names the way I don't know the material the way you do. I just know what I've seen. I know it comported with what Carly Fiorina was describing, and that it seems like something that was certainly taken out of context by whoever put the video together. Because the mother the mother says, I mean, you know what I'm talking about.
I swear to fuck they punched these guys with velvet gloves. Like, why so soft? Must it be that fucking soft?
Because you're part of the team. You don't shit on people on the team. You know, the hell if you hold them accountable. Not when you're trying to look neutral.
Yeah.
How what you're supposed to do. How dare you be objective?
All right, let's see these fucking guys.
Right? There was a mother who had a miscarriage,
I've
stillborn.
spoken with,
you used that in the video, right?
With Lex. I've spoken with Lexi Fretz, the mother. Yeah, absolutely.
And what do you
those
use it to
images were
show?
used to illustrate.
To show what?
Used to illustrate exactly the kind of late second trimester baby fetus that we're talking about in these cases of organ harvesting.
But if you're talking about organ harvesting and abortions and how terrible they are, why would you use a stillborn fetus, which is not a function of an abortion?
Do you think that the fetuses are different somehow?
I think it's. I think.
Oh,
Yes, nigga.
he. That's
Yes.
a gotcha question. That.
Like, because then, okay, so let's assume that they aren't any different. Fuck the fact. Again, you see how much shit we have to throw out the window just to even make sense of your fucking dumbass argument. But all right, let's just leave this. Let's just leave it aside. Okay, sure, they're the same in the sense that they're both dead children or dead fetuses. So if they're the same, and they like, are you gonna start prosecuting people for having miscarriages or for stillbirths?
You know what? They don't want to say it now, but let them get enough power. That's the logic.
Can we? Yeah, you know they've already tried to put those laws into effect. Actually, there's been a couple states that have tried to put laws into effect to investigate when someone does have a stillborn to make sure that the mother didn't do anything that could have caused the fetus to die, you know, prematurely. So,
Wasn't
yeah,
there
they are.
actually a case in Mississippi earlier this year that a woman was indicted for miscarriage?
There's actually been a couple. There was one in Indiana about a woman who tried to commit suicide while she was pregnant, and the fetus died and she didn't, and she, I think, is actually in prison right now for that. There was one in Mississippi about a woman who took abortion pills and ended up losing the baby later, and they tried to blame her for that. And then there was another one towards the southwest, I want to say like Texas or Arizona, about a woman who lost a baby and then was also a drug user, and they tried to put her in prison because they were like, oh, it was your drug use that killed the baby. So yeah, they already are actually investigating and prosecuting people for having miscarriages. So yeah, that's already happening.
Yeah, well, there you go. See, they're consistent, I suppose. I mean, you got to give them that. They're consistently fucking crazy, but they are consistent. Whatever that means to you.
Yeah, let's see. Hey, little more genius, a little more brilliance.
It's the same gestational age. It's the same baby.
It's also
whether it's born dead or alive,
it's
whether its
also
organs are harvested or not.
Yeah, it's the same fucking age. Same. Hey, you knew that, right? 6 weeks, 8 months, 7 months, same shit. They're all babies. I'm a baby loving guy. I love the fucking babies.
They're all 0 years of age.
Ah.
See?
And if they're little Negroes, that's fucking racist ass genocide. What are you, a fucking racist? You better come join the non-racist Republicans.
That's right.
But we only care about them until the parents that didn't want them or couldn't have them need assistance to help feeding them, and then we don't give a shit.
Whoa. White Republican Jesus said the only thing that is your job is to make sure that all fetuses are born no matter what. Like, that's your only job.
Oh.
Like, yeah, he needs more souls to save. Gotta get some practice in. Especially if they're unwanted. Ah, man, those are his favorite kind of kids. Think about how unwanted he was. Fucking his stepdad found out he wasn't the dad, and then he had to go against God. What the fuck you gonna do? You gonna tell God, stay away from my girl, God? And can't do it. So yeah, Jesus wants those fucking kids. He wants those unwanted kids. He needs them. Let's see.
And it's also that's the same kind of infant.
Absolutely. It's also completely irrelevant to the point you're trying to make, which is, look at what they do.
Really? And now CNN goes hard? Do they know? Do they want to go hard or go soft?
Because he can't even he can't even admit that he was blatantly wrong in placing that. Like that's it's something so fucking simple to admit that he won't even do that it just becomes disingenuous. Like they're terrible at this. Like they don't even try anymore. At least they used to try. Well, that was irresponsible, but in reality, it was the best picture that we could find. Like, fuck, lie and say that. Like, you guys are doing this poorly. You're gonna do it. Like, I'm not telling you to be a fucking libertarian or fucking Republican douchebag, but if you're gonna be a Republican douchebag, at least be good at it. Like, can you not be so mediocre?
No.
But they're white men though, so.
Oh, I forgot mediocre is gold.
Yeah, there is little to no incentive to like really bust ass and do a fantastic job. All right. Let's see. He's got a little more to say. You gonna learn.
To these babies, it was born, stillborn. It was not aborted. Doesn't that matter to you if you're talking about abortion?
What I think what matters is the fact that that's an.
You see his fucking face? Oh God, hold on. Let's bring that back.
The microaggressions in his face.
Holy shit!
Oh,
you look like you fucking shot liberal. Somebody fucking shot Crank right into his eyeball.
What I think what matters is the fact that that's an example.
I think his voice even cracked. I think what matters is Patty Mayonnaise go to the dance with Roger Klotz now.
Damn. There's just so much.
I think what matters is the fact that that's an example of an 18 to 19 week fetus, which is the exact same gestational age that Planned Parenthood routinely aborts and harvests the organs from.
Right, but you used it.
Yeah. He sounds like a fucking hotep at this point. Like fucking really. Like they were really caught. Does he think that's what happened with Michael Brown too?
Yeah, I guess so. You know, same age, same species. So you know.
I don't know. Those ones are half Hulk. You know, as soon as they're born, it's all danger.
But he had so much fucking rage in his eyes from being called out as a fucking liar that, like, seriously, I can just picture in the back of his mind him standing his ground on 20 black men with an AK-47, because that's how enraged he was.
As an example of look at the babies that they abort. Look how it's a real person. Look how it is. Look what they do. But it wasn't aborted. Isn't that misleading?
No, because the subject, I
gotta do a nervous laugh and compose myself. Get ready for this line of bullshit coming up here, buddy.
Creature that's being aborted is the same kind of thing. It's the same kind of fetus.
Look,
that's not
to make your point,
misrepresenting at all. It's just to illustrate.
Yep, different kinds of fetuses. Yep, I prefer myself a Reebok fetus.
See, but that's the thing. He tried to get him on the most, like, he threw out all the hard shit, like all the hard evidence to get him on this bullshit ass point. Because the fact of the matter is that generally you don't have stillborns at fucking 16, 18, 19 weeks. You just don't. And the baby that they were showing wasn't that young. Or the fetus that they were showing wasn't that young. So it's, again, you let him off easy only to hammer him on some bullshit. Because sure, is it representative of what the fuck he was trying to show? Okay, yeah, but what he was trying to show was in effect a fucking lie in and of itself. And you're still trying to catch him on, well, this baby wasn't aborted. Like, you could have, you letting him off, you're going hard, you're using like fucking metal gloves with a jab instead of using them with a fucking right hook. The right hook is the fact that that baby wasn't the same, or that fucking fetus wasn't the same age. They weren't.
Now, I just gotta point out, because as I'm screen sharing, it's probably showing that I have a Gail Dines bookmark. I do not support the Swerfs or any of that business. That's just, I needed a YouTube bookmark. I happened to be on that Gail Dines video, seeing her talk for the first time, so that just ended up being my YouTube bookmark. All right, back to this guy.
It's not a creature. It's not a thing. It's a little person. And the point is, if you want to represent a little person, do it fairly, because this is such an emotional thing. It's so religious for people. It's so moral for people. That baby was not aborted. It matters in the context of your conversation.
It's the exact same gestational age fetus. I don't see. I don't
Holy shit, I'm gonna stick to my talking point no matter what the fuck you say. He has about 15 more seconds.
see how you could say that that's not fair to show an illustration of what a fetus at 19 weeks looks like, because that's
My
the
point is
exact same
context.
gestational age.
You're saying what they do in abortions. This wasn't an abortion. That's my point.
He doesn't give a shit what your point is.
Yeah, and again, the point that he's countering with is a bold-faced fucking lie.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. All right, we're a couple of dudes riffing on this shit. What the? Oh, it just automatically reloaded another YouTube clip. That's fantastic.
So,
But
I gotta say, I'm a little bit disappointed with the liberal media right now. Yeah, I said liberal media. Because a bunch of conservative sites were reporting this as an incident that started in a bank, and I'm going back. I've been Googling this entire time. All the tags are still there, but every time you click on a conservative site, they've completely updated everything and taken out basically every reference to the bank, so now it's like it never happened, and I'm a little bit disappointed that some people on the left didn't see that coming and screen cap it. Like, why didn't y'all screen cap this shit? You knew they were going to do that, right? Like, why? What is this? What is this? So, you know, like, I'm looking and I see, when I'm Googling it, right, it says, according to Breitbart, they thought it was, the incident was a bank robbery, right? And then there's like 3 different links to the Breitbart website and the Gateway Pundit that says it was at a Chase Bank, not at Planned Parenthood. It was a bank robbery gone wrong. He ran into the Planned Parenthood hide. And then you click on all these different sites, and every reference to that is gone. They're like, oh yeah, someone shot up a Planned Parenthood. All the bank references about the Chase Bank are gone. I can't find any. And nobody took thought that they should maybe take screenshots of that? Really?
No, because their job isn't to hold them accountable. Their job is to monitor from time to time, but then also make them seem reasonable.
The only one that I have a screen cap of is Jim Hoft, the Gateway Pundit, who says the shooter may have attempted a bank robbery but ducked into Planned Parenthood. But of course he got that from Breitbart, and it's not on their website anymore. Whew, yeah, good work, guys. Appreciate that. Leftists. I guess we haven't learned anything in all the time that we've been dealing with conservatives. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, but that's because that's their plan. Their plan was never to actually hold them accountable, because if you admit that, like, if the quote-unquote liberal media admits just how fucking crazy the right has been for the past 35 or so years, the number one question is, why the fuck didn't you tell us sooner? And then they have to defend that question, and they don't want to.
I mean, hell, look at this year, the least discussed and the least shared article written by a conservative, by a conservative that has had a big name for, oh, Jesus, fuck, man, since I had a flat top and a rat tail. David Brooks, when he did the article, basically saying this party is fucking slid off the armchair into a pile of fuck all on the beanbag. Like, they're and where that article got no discussion. I don't even think he went on the Sunday shows that week. Ignore it.
And then, you know, something else I do find interesting, too, though, is that they haven't done anything to confront the major conservative outlets that talked about this, but they did spend a lot of fucking time going on Twitter looking for people that have, 200 followers, 300 followers about the horrible shit they've been tweeting about this, right? Like, oh, he's an American hero, saving black lives. He's done more for saving black people than Black Lives Matter ever has. And, all that kind of stuff. So, like, you have all this time to take screenshots from people celebrating this shooting, from people who are small time on Twitter, but you didn't think to do the same, put the same level of care into major conservative news outlets. Okay, I guess that's what we're doing.
Yeah, and word life. I went through that list. I didn't go through all 10 of them, but I went through 5, and 2 of them are like not even like conservative heads that have any reputation. They're not even conservative heads. They're essentially like 4chan trolls. Like one of them has like Super Mario as his backup image, and if you look at the rest of his posts, he's talking about like Gamergate and like the evil feminists. Like it's just a 4chaner. Like they're just clowns. So they really just went by anybody who did it. So the person who made that post on their WordPress site, they fucking suck. They fucking suck at making posts on their site. Like they put in 0 effort into that fucking thing. Like one of them was a prominent voice, but it's one of those voices who, and prominent in the context of 40,000 followers on Twitter, right? That's their prominence. Which, I mean, fuck, man, we get more post clicks than that in a fucking week. You know, so fuck them. I mean, fucking the Guerrilla Feminism page is fucking bigger than her. So fuck that person. And all she does is just talk pretty much conservative talking points. Like, she really brings nothing to the table. There was no reason to go after the tweets. Feeny Loco made the point. I just riffed on it like a man. Rode your coattails. Gonna get credit for what you did. That's what I do. That's how I represent. Sunset Park, what time is it?
Hashtag reverse colorism.
Yeah, man. You take that shit from light skinned niggas. So folks will know, like one of our ongoing jokes, Feeny Loco that we have is because you know she's in high yellow house negress and I'm dark skinned field man, and I keep saying, yo, when Harriet come, I ain't gonna sing shit. Ain't gonna be no wade in the fucking water. We just gonna bounce.
Gonna leave me behind, you asshole. Oh.
Ooh, I was going up to New York City.
But you know what though? They can't hold the people who actually started this shit accountable because guess what? They're their friends in the newsroom.
Yeah.
Again, you know the reason the biggest reason why I can't really respect Rachel Maddow because yeah, she can talk shit about Fox all she wants. Like that shit's cool and everybody gets their giggles and she's absolutely right and it's valid. But then you got Joe Scarborough doing this shit, doing the same fucking thing on the same fucking station 4 hours a day, 5 days a week.
She can come the closest to it, though. Chris Hayes went right up in there. But this is how Chris Hayes did it. Chris Hayes got Bernie Sanders on as a guest and then showed Bernie Sanders the clip so Sanders could comment on it. So Hayes could be like, not my voice. Not me. Not me. He did that shit, that basketball shit. Foul shit out of nigga. And then this week, Ricky, we got to find the Lawrence O'Donnell clip where Lawrence was cracking at Meet the Press. But he was being very careful, like he was dabbing his toe in that get fired water, and he was like, ooh, this water's warm, ooh, it is, but I'm gonna dip my toe right back out. Yeah, it was precious. You got to see that fucking Lawrence clip from this week. Outstanding. All right, this is social justice bullies. Because being petty for social justice is revolutionary. And right, that is Ricky L. Hines. There is Lisa Loco, Feeny Loco. I am William J. Black ass motherfucker. Remember, go to Guerrilla Feminism. Give them a click. Go to socialdissonance.wordpress.com. Give them a click. Lisa Loco has a blog post up there. It's pretty fucking G. You should go read it. Stop being a fucking goof. Right? Go fuck yourself. And let's dance it over to this feller, this boy, this what's his name, McPherson?
Yo, you know what though?
Yeah.
I bet he's somewhere in the cut now talking about.
Yo, where'd you go?
Oh, my bad, wait. Damn it. You know he's somewhere playing that.
Yo, because I'm black and I'm back.
You know he is. Yeah.
So he just got way hard. So he's just bumping that shit.
Basically.
He got that knockout in Drayster. They're so unknown. I bet YouTube doesn't even flag this shit. Bet you.
Not even close. All right, so let's hear the words from C.J. Pearson, conservative or young black conservative hero.
Hey guys, CJ Pearson here. Now, many of you today have probably
His face just makes me laugh because it's so full of fucking indignation.
Click the screen share button. Click that green
Oh,
button
I'm
with the
already on
arrow.
it. I'm already on it. Hold on, there we go. All right, so let's go back to Mr. Pearson. See what he's got for you.
already seen the Laquan McDonald video, where this innocent young man was gunned down.
He wanted to say nigga. He wanted to say nigga so bad. He had to take. You see the look to the. Did you see it? I know you've seen it. The look to the right, that young man. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he looks more and more like Jay-Z. It's just tripping me out.
He was shot 16 times for literally no reason at all. Now, this isn't a conservative issue. This isn't a liberal issue, so do not play that card with me on this.
Do not play that card with this young man. He's gonna you sort of look like a 90-year-old church lady. Do not play that card with me.
Who?
What?
Wait. Do not play. This isn't a liberal issue, and it isn't a conservative one. So don't you try to play that card with me. Forget about the fact that virtually every conservative I've heard and seen and talked to has said hateful things about this young man. It is not a conservative or liberal issue. Like the fact that people are on either sides of something, and that usually, by definition, then makes it an issue. We're going to ignore all of that. Don't you do it. You got that conservative game down, son. I'm telling you, that's conservative ground game. Deny, deny, deny. Both sides deny, deny, deny.
William, you're a terrible person.
As a side note, Ricky, that was an excellent Lindsey Graham impersonation. I'm just saying.
It's not a proper Lindsey Graham impersonation unless there's a mint julep within arm's reach.
Yep,
Oh.
and a playing couch.
All right, let's get back
True story.
Get back to Mr. Pearson. Young Mr. Pearson, American, black, young, conservative hero.
Gross miscarriage of justice. This is a travesty.
This nigga here.
To the people defending what this police officer did, you were literally insane, and you clearly don't have a grasp on reality.
Oh my.
If you're basing
Here's
your...
a black Republican. Let's talk about a grip on reality.
Wait, no. He just sat there. Okay, all right. First and foremost, right? Like, we're not talking. This is how I know he ain't even seen shit. He just knows that this is so blatantly wrong that he can't fucking defend it, and so he has to say something. And besides that, probably could be him, so he has some interest in defending this. Like, come on, son. Come on. Wait a minute. A loose grasp on reality, right? Okay, so let's go back to Mr. Pearson's previous statements. Not just on this, because this was published November 24th, which was 3 days ago. 5 days ago, we must say no to Syrian refugees. A week ago, President Obama's foreign policy non-existent. A week ago, the problem is radical Islam, not climate change.
Okay.
Listen up, Mizzou. Why I support Ted Cruz.
God damn it. Shit.
If you don't sit your motherfucking ass down somewhere, like,
listen, can we get some excerpts from Listen Up, Mizzou? Can you click that? Click that for me one time.
Oh my God.
Hey guys, I'm Steve.
Hold on, let me bring you up to video. This man, C.J. Pearson, this young man, this young conservative Christian young man. If he was in Jesus' times, he'd have 3 wives already.
This is gonna be great.
And today I wanted to talk about the recent events that have happened over at Mizzou. And trust me, it's been a crazy week. First, we've had the Million Student March, and now we have this craziness going over at Mizzou. And so I really need to make a video about this.
Because I'm scared
So
of the
essentially,
black people.
what they're demanding is that one of their demands have been the president of the school resigned.
Yo, the screen share went away.
Did it?
Now, it's really, really ironic to me because, in all honesty, having a black president doesn't ease.
Wait, hold on. We've got to bring the screen share back. There we go. Sorry about that.
Racial tensions doesn't solve racism on campus because at the end of the day, if you look at our own president, our commander-in-chief, Barack Obama, division across our country racially has grown. So no, having a black president does not solve the problem. It's just a way for Black Lives Matter to once again show their racism. Now,
wait, what? Wait, I don't understand. Is this saying that Black Lives Matter put Obama in office to create racism?
Yeah.
I don't.
Why? Again, you have to forget the fact that he was elected president in 2008, and Black Lives Matter didn't come about until 2013. 13. You're right. So,
but sleeper cells, Ricky, sleeper cells. Come on now.
Sleeper cells, yeah. And fuck chronological order. We don't do chronological order around these parts, sir.
Reality does chronological order. That has no control over that. Oh my god, that's so fucking. Well, see what here had happened.
Oh no.
Is that Barack Obama, our Muslim Muslim commander-in-chief, he went back in time and planted the seed for Black Lives Matter just by running for president. His running for president was code for, hey niggers, let's come out and party.
That's not how any of this works.
And he's still like, what up? Who's that?
He can't be this. He's not this stupid. He just has to play by the rules, and playing by the rules means suspending, things like chronological order, reality, history, math,
dignity.
Yeah, there you go, dignity.
How much you want to bet when he's 30 he's going to say he was never a Republican?
Of course.
Right.
Paper trail never matters because you just, again, deny. You can show the fucking Rand Paul rule. You can show this nigga something that he just said. He'd be like, I didn't say that. Rand Paul, we have you on camera. I did not say that. Well, Rand Paul, you said that you didn't like that specific chapter of the Civil Rights Act. Well, I didn't say that. Yes, you did. Here's you on camera saying it. Play the camera. Oh, well,
that's a nigger. That's not me.
I don't know what kind of magic magicianry you guys have. Which, first of all, first it was the fuzzy math. Now it's the fuzzy video. Plus the liberal media.
Someone actually did say fuzzy math, didn't they? That's a real quote, isn't it?
George W. Bush. Yes. We elected the president. Well, I mean, the Supreme Court elected the president. But yeah, I believe that's.
All right, but still, like you said though, since he renounced his Republicanship, that he's down in the basement, vibing. He's just like, ooh yeah, it's real. I'm this now.
Buster, jumping the
Again,
Really?
YouTube won't flag it. Too underground.
Like, okay, so again, he went. This was what, 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago that he said this shit. So he's not,
He's
again.
growing up fast, man. He's growing. It's like a growth spurt, man. He grew up fast. He drank a whole bunch of milk.
He said this shit November 12th. He said this shit November 12th.
You don't remember those commercials on Nickelodeon, man, way back in like 1989, where they're like, I'm a little guy, but I'm gonna drink milk, and that's what the fuck he did.
No, because even when you look at his face, like you can tell in the like, because children have a harder time hiding their facial expression. You can tell when he's fucking like he's biting the big one on this one, because he wants to say nigger, and he just looks over to the side like, no, that wouldn't be correct. I could say it, but not in this accent. It would never ride if I said it in this accent, and I haven't been around enough black people.
I still think while his face hasn't fully developed yet, he should like fucking seriously just go on like a small tour, just like lip syncing Jay-Z records. Like he has the face, like he's gotta fucking do that shit. That'd be so good. I'd watch that shit. That little face is like, Hove the God, nigga asked for me. I'm at the Trump International. Like, who wouldn't watch that?
Me.
I want to see him do this. Can I get one of these?
No. Illuminati triangle, what?
Then he'll never be able to go libertarian once he does that. Oh, fuck no, you can't join us, you fucking Illuminati. Fuck you, buddy. Damn right.
This kid. So let's get back to Mr. Pearson and his justice for Laquan. I just want to make sure.
Cannot shoot a fleeing suspect who poses no imminent danger. But yet this police officer did. And what is even more nerve-wracking and heartbreaking is that the city of Chicago attempted to cover this up. They held onto this video for an extended amount of time for no reason whatsoever, not giving this family closure. The city of Chicago should be ashamed of themselves, and Rahm Emanuel should resign.
Oh, wait.
This is happening.
Oh, wait. I get it. I knew it was there somewhere. I was waiting on it.
Is this going to be an anti-Semitic thing?
No.
Oh,
what is
man.
Is his chance to shit on a Democrat? That's what he's. Democrat did something fucked up? Oh, I'm shitting on him now. I'm going to pretend like I'm concerned. They'll never know the difference. They'll just think I changed. Fuck the shit that I said 2 days before this about the Syrian refugees. Fuck the shit I said about the students at Mizzou. They'll never know. Nah, nigga, we remember what you said 3 weeks ago. You realize that people don't work like that, right? Sorry, the shit that you said 3 weeks ago still counts. And it gets factored in. And you can tell, again, I knew it was somewhere. I knew it was, okay, how can we shit on a Democrat? Oh, we'll have the little black kid come out and say this is absolutely wrong. And then blame the Democrat. Where the fuck was this when this was Walter Scott? I don't remember. Wait, you know what? I'm on his page. Let's just look it up and see what he had to say about Walter Scott. All right, let's see. We're going to find it. God bless South Carolina. Why I'm proud to be a Republican. Some black lives don't matter. These are the titles. I can't make this shit up.
Actually...
Yes. Hillary Clinton for narcissist in chief. I can't.
What?
I cannot. I will not. Oh.
So this little boy had better get like a stars and bars or something tattooed on his forehead, because does he realize that when he walks out in the street, the rest of his Republican brethren don't recognize him from anyone else that looks like him?
Whoa, ma'am. I don't think you understand how respectability politics work. They save you each and every single time. So
oh, yeah, that shit's bulletproof, right? Yeah, that
So
shit's
if you
bulletproof.
just live in a respectable manner and you say, I don't like Democrats, you'll always be safe. Always, always, always. You'll never be the next Laquan because reasons.
Again, his opportunity to shit on a Democrat. He's still playing like he's still playing the same fucking game. Sure, you're gonna leave the Republican Party because of the fucked up things that they said, but it's only because you can blame it. You can shit on a Democrat and do it. Like, again, disingenuous as fuck. There is no justice. You don't want justice for Laquan. You want an opportunity to rub something in a fucking Democrat's face. I don't really fuck with the Democrats like that, but I'm not stupid either. Like, I'm not a fucking 5-year-old. I can see when there are motives. Because the other fucking hundreds of times that this has happened, the other times where a cop shot an unarmed suspect at that, fuck the fact that at least like Juan was at least armed. Fuck the fact that people were being shot unarmed. No words from that. Nothing. Walter Scott, he didn't have shit to say about it. Not a damn thing. So, what's the only difference? Oh wait, Democratic mayor. We can shit on those liberals because they don't know how to treat their black people right. Fuck the fact that we've been treating them like shit for decades, for generations even. I can't.
Yes, you can. You just did, colored man. Now, so that's all right. So that's shooting shit up for baby body parts. That's ex-Republican Jay-Z impersonator, country boy, good old black boy, well behaved. Shine your shoe up right good, fella. I tell you what. And over here, we have I have for real had it with anti-capitalism fucks this weekend. You want to talk about an egalitarian redistribution of corporate wealth? I'm here for that. You want to talk about not one dime for black liberation and Black Lives Matter? I'm here for that. But there's more. What's going on there? Pass it to Lisa Loco. What's going on with these fucks that you've been seeing this week?
So with it being Thanksgiving weekend and Black Friday and everything, there's been a lot of conversation in the social media circles about, just especially within anti-capitalist circles about the evils of Black Friday, and it's not been a conversation about, how corporate monsters increase prices for a month before Black Friday so that they can sell you a TV that's only actually worth $700 and you get it for $700 because it seems like a deal because it's been $1,200 for the last month. It's not about exploitation. It's not about, it's basically been about vilifying and shitting on poor people that have to line up at 3 a.m. to get shit that's on sale. And I've had it. I have had it with just this society in general vilifying people in poverty, and I have really fucking had it with people who insist that they are out for revolution, that they are out for liberation, that they are fucking radical. That are they're still just shitting on poverty instead of doing something to deconstruct the systems that benefit from poverty, that exploit poverty, that generate poverty. And that's where I'm at this weekend. I've had it.
You know what? You just made me realize now I want to add something to the soundboard. It's from RuPaul's Drag Race. I hope Raymond Loco checks this out. You remember this clip?
I've had it with you. Go the home. I've had it officially.
I've had it officially. Go the fuck home.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. If you want to talk about actually deconstructing a system that benefits off of poverty while simultaneously engendering poverty, I am all fucking about that. I am there for that conversation. if you just want to use people who live in poverty to make yourself feel good about the fact that, well, I hate Walmart, so I hate people that shop at Walmart, you can fuck right off.
If you're a single mother with 2 children, it's the toughest job in America as far as I'm concerned. And you're working hard to put food on your family.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, those people shouldn't be touched. You know, when you put somebody in a situation where it is their survival and them supporting Walmart, nigga, they gonna support Walmart all day. It doesn't really, like, you've put their survival at risk. You know, sorry, you don't like it, then don't put their survival at risk. Maybe you may want to pay them a higher wage so that they can afford not to shop at Walmart. Maybe so that they don't fall into that gap where once they end up getting paid more and they lose whatever government benefits that they were getting, that it's effectively a fucking they're taking a loss and getting a decent job. So you know, expand the earned income tax credit instead of reducing it. Expand these types of welfare programs so that you get people out of poverty and you get them to a point where they can stay out of it. It's not that fucking difficult. We have the means in which to do it. The effort is not there.
Yeah. Yes, Feeny Loco. You have things, thoughts.
I have things, thoughts,
stuff, thoughts, whatnot,
stuff.
what have.
Things and stuff. First of all, I think we forgot to put the Incredibles clip in that we were going to do. I just thought about that right now because I'm late. But yeah, I think that is one of the biggest issues when we're talking about capitalism, that people assume because they have a little bit more money and they're doing better that they're somehow making ethical choices. And it's like, I know whatever, you know, your coffee beans, they're supposed to be fair trade, but you don't know that. You're not in Guatemala where they're picking your shit, making sure that it is fair trade. You are still using smart devices that have lithium batteries that were probably dug up by, you know, child minors. You're still eating chocolate that was carried by child slaves. You still have jewelry that was mined, you know, under horrific conditions. There is no such thing as ethical consumption under capitalism. So I think that is something that needs to be addressed, because a lot of people have this idea, like, if I shop at a higher end store, I'm not contributing to the system, but you are, you know? And a lot of people...
No, but what people don't get is that should you have to make those fucking decisions? Should you have to? Because people don't have the fucking time to do the research to even go through and look, oh, well, is my fucking coffee really fair trade? No, but that's why you have people. That's why you have people who you vote for that you hold accountable.
Mm-hmm.
Other people are kept busy and entertained, and then the people that they vote for are already pre-selected for them by the moneyed interests.
That too. And I think it all, you know, it goes back to a larger thing, because a lot of these people will say, like, oh, well, you know, my coffee is fair trade and I shop at Whole Foods, but, you know, Whole Foods gets a lot of their shit from prison labor. Like, and how do we treat people in prison? You know, we don't treat people in prison well. You know, so tell me again how your shit is ethical. And the same thing, a lot of these people, they'll pat themselves on the back and be like, oh, I'm feeling superior because I do this, but they don't fight for people who work retail to make a living wage. They don't fight for resources for people who are in poverty to be able to do better. Everything is scraping by the bare minimum. And the other side of it too is, if you're not in poverty, you don't know what it's like to live in poverty, and you just need to back all the way the fuck up with that, because it is expensive to be poor, and people don't understand, right? They're like, well, but if you need to buy, and I've heard this so many times, especially around, you know, Black Friday time, if you need to buy tools, you should buy them around Father's Day because it's cheaper. Well, nigga, I get overtime in winter, holiday season. I don't get overtime in May, so I can go buy fucking power tools in June, right? Like, trust me, I'm doing it for a reason. I have to have the overtime to have the money to buy the things that I need, so I have to go out shopping during certain times of the year. I have to make sure that my accounts are set up a certain way. I have to make sure I'm buying things on a month where everything is on sale so I can still afford groceries and rent that month. Like, there's a lot of, I guess, nuance, maybe is the word I'm looking for, to being in poverty. It's not just being poor, it's figuring out how to balance getting groceries with paying rent, with paying medical bills, with being able to show up at your job without running out of gas money because you have to go to the store, 7 different days, every 2 weeks because a different thing is on sale that one time, and putting it all together and making it all work. And people who do not live in poverty do not understand that.
Yeah.
And I find
motherfuckers don't listen.
I find a lot of the conversation about, poverty and poor people and, is geared at lower middle class but still upwardly mobile. All of those spending tips and, how to get the most out of your Costco membership and best times of the year to shop and things like that. It's all geared towards people that are just at a break-even budget but still have a little bit here and there, whereas it doesn't factor in people who are legitimately living in poverty. People that legitimately have to make that choice with, am I going to buy my kids shoes and winter coats this month, or am I going to float my light bill again?
Yeah. And this is kind of off the top of my head, sort of bouncing, because there's the people that folks will point to that are purchasing what they want, not something that's like won't be able to survive without it, but something that is a want. That's like these folks, they didn't just come into existence wanting things. Like, they were raised and socialized in a consumerist culture that tells you that you are less than if you don't have what you are supposed to want, like according to the societal standards. And so, like, look at society as a whole. But then again, it points back to it's the same thing with people that pick on abortion clinics and whatnot. They don't want to challenge larger systems. They want to they want to pick at the small thing. Like, they really want to flip out on like this little piece of string that fell on the floor, when it's like, you got to shampoo this whole fucking carpet, buddy. But shampooing the whole carpet's hard. I gotta go and rent a shampooer or borrow one from somebody. I gotta fucking purchase the right rug soap. I gotta hook up the hose. What is this shit? I gotta get a bucket. What? Why do I have to do all these things? No, I just want to yell at the string and maybe shoot it a couple times, and that'll fix the carpet. No, fuckface. You have to challenge the whole system, and the whole system of what I call the imperialist corporate state of America. That is a horrible thing, and we need to get rid of. That's the big. Well, that's what Lisa Loco tells me, at least.
And yeah, and I have to try to find the article, but somebody wrote kind of like a personal blog about this, and it was a really good point, because they were like, okay, so I'm driving to work and my car breaks down, and I knew my car was going to break down because something had been wrong with it, but I hadn't been able to afford to take it to the mechanic, So, it breaks down, and now I'm trying to figure out what to do because I got to get to work, right? And this guy stops and pulls over, and he's trying to help me and be a good Samaritan, but he was the most unhelpful person ever, because he's like, I'll get you a tow truck. And I'm like, don't get me a tow truck, because I cannot afford to pay for a tow truck. My insurance won't cover it. I can't afford to pay for it, and I need to go to work, not worry about having my car towed. So I'm just going to leave my car here on the side of the road. And he was like, well, what if something happens to your car? And I'm like, well, what if something happens to it? I can't lose my job. I have to go to work. And he's like, well, let me just call you a tow truck. I'm like, I can't afford the tow truck. Don't call me a tow truck. And then he gets mad, like, I'm just trying to help you. Why would you let me help you? Like, because your help isn't really helping me, right? And that's what these people do. Like, why don't you just go shopping on this day? Why don't you just go shopping on that day? Why don't you just save up money? Why don't you just, get an insurance plan? Why don't you just this? Why don't you just that? And it's like, you don't understand what it's like to say, you know, I have all these expenses, I have things I have to have, there's a couple things I want, and I'm trying to figure out how to do it. And when it comes to
works. That's not how any of this works.
and when it comes to people who talk about what they want, I get really irritated when they're like, oh, well, you don't have to have a TV. And it's like, nigga, you don't have to go on vacation, but you are, aren't you? Like, shut up and leave me alone with my little, like, yeah, I'm gonna watch The Blacklist. Give me my 1 fucking hour with my TV to watch The Blacklist. Like, no one said shit about you going away to Cancun for 2 weeks. That's how you get rid of stress. That's how you relax. That's how you decompress. Can I just have my fucking TV? You know, and it's like, but you're poor and you're not entitled to have nice things. You're not allowed to have nice things. You need to be miserable every minute of every day and be like some Charles Dickens character, right? Like fucking Oliver Twist, and be miserable and hungry and homeless and just awful every second of your existence because you're poor. Like, that's what you're entitled to.
Well, don't you know, Phoenix? You gotta act your wage.
Oh, shit.
What did you say that? What did you say that? What does that even mean?
I know, right?
Got a meme Republican Jesus saying that.
Act your wage.
Act your wage.
Yeah. And, you know, like, that's the thing. And I think that, like, long-term people don't understand either. Like, living in chronic stress like that, yeah, that sends people to early graves.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you can talk about, like, oh, well, you don't need to be able to go out for dinner ever. You don't need to have a TV. And it's like, you don't understand what it's like to not have social support on a larger scale, right? Because society's looking down on you for being poor. And then you can't just be upwardly mobile. And then you don't have a way to get rid of the stress. Yeah, that shit gives people heart attacks when they're 40. That's how that happens.
Same people, they squeeze themselves down just as well. Just how this person over here will lease the I'm tossing out names here. I really don't know exactly what I'm talking about, but that lease the Honda Civic. It's like, yeah, they lease that, but you over here, you leased a fucking Hummer. So it's like you're squeezing yourself down to the tiniest penny too. Like that person, like Feeny Loco just said, went out to eat and purchased a dinner that was like $35 for the family of 4 to eat with no seconds, you know, maybe refills on drinks, you know, and but you went and like you said, went to the Cancun, which does not sound good the way I say it, and you go down there fucking and so you squeezed your pennies down too. So you will also really, you're probably in debt. We just don't talk about your debt because you are more respectable because your income is bigger and your debt is bigger. They don't say that shit about Donald Trump and his ass bankrupting out, and say that shit about him. They don't say that shit about Republicans that go and just put a bike pump to the deficit. Yeah, like they don't say but you peasant, you have to be looked down upon.
And that's a really good point about debt as well. Is people are really quick to vilify debt without making the distinction between necessary debt and materialistic debt. My credit card isn't maxed out because I went on vacation or bought a lavish Christmas. My credit card is maxed out because for 6 months out of the year, there are times I have to buy gas and groceries with it. Mm-hmm. Like there's a definite distinction between living beyond your means when your means are not even at that point that is necessary to survive in this culture, and living beyond your means because you want something nice.
Right.
Yeah. And now Ricky Loco has to go do stuff and things. All right. Do you folks want to hang out longer, or do you want to wrap it up? What do you want to do?
I'm good with either.
I got some time.
You got some time? All right, we got some time.
Like, I'm just going to sit here and hang out so I can talk shit about Ricky while he's gone.
I mean...
But that was my plan.
I'm going to hear it anyway. Fuck it.
All right, so light-skinned space traveler, you go do stuff.
Bye, Ricky.
Bye, Ricky.
All right, y'all. Take care.
All right, what's going on here? No, you sound like you had a lot of riff. I hate that I have to interrupt the riff to do that. That's that show shit.
Granddad being serious.
Well, one of us really should be, because let's face it, you and I are not serious.
Yeah, I'm not at all.
I mean, I have my hat on backwards. That's pretty wacky.
Oh my god, really? You have your hat on backwards, and that is wacky.
Yeah, you don't see it. It's on backwards as opposed to forward, and there's a zipper on it.
You're hardcore. You know what's going on in the streets.
The hat has a zipper, man.
So you could put like a credit card in your hat.
No, I don't do any of that stuff. It's just there.
Oh, you could put like a debit card in there. Put a lucky $2 bill.
No, what if I have to run from the cops and the hat flies off?
Then all you lost was $2, and your hat was obviously not lucky.
There's no such thing as luck.
Oh my god, you're black.
Yeah, oh yeah, this is how it goes.
Just saying.
Holy hell! All right, let's see what in the holy hell else is going on here. There's stuff, more things.
Oh my god, that fucking thread is still happening. That's like never gonna end.
Yeah.
Which one? The GoFundMe one or the capitalism or the Black Friday one?
The social justice call out thread.
Oh. Yeah, that got like 95 comments in like an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I step in and say some things to some folks. And I think for the most part, yeah, folks just interacted. I mean, there was that one, and I noticed that the individuals that came in on behalf of Brooks, like they all stuck to talking points.
Mm-hmm.
Like none of them would actually have like an organic, natural conversation. They were like, "This is my talking point, and you need to agree with it." That was it. It's like I'm not interacting with a genuine person that because I can't just walk up to you and just be like, "Hey, behind that closed door, there's like 5 green T-shirts. Yeah, see the 5 green T-shirts, please." Yeah, but that's what echo chambers do. What up?
One thing I did notice about that post, and I think it speaks to just the larger social justice community in general, was it seemed like there was a thirst for what was being said. Like, as soon as that went up, there was a bunch of people co-signing it, like they had been waiting for someone to say something. And this is something that I think permeates social justice just in general, and we've talked about this before, this whole construction of a reverse hierarchy. And when that happens, people that have something to say, that legitimately have something to say about real shit that is going on in their world and their life, no longer have a platform to talk the way social justice is supposed to do. We are supposed to be creating a platform for visibility for marginalized voices and marginalized bodies. That is what we are supposed to be doing. But when that reverse hierarchy gets constructed, people that are somewhere in the middle that do have real shit to say, again, feel like they no longer have a voice because they're not multiply marginalized and multiply oppressed the way the new folk at the top are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was just a really interesting observation from that particular post. Is there were a lot of people that just seemed like it was a huge relief that someone said it, that they didn't have to.
Yeah, and I think it's like because a lot of like the way this shit is put together is like built on like what made feudalism as far as social hierarchies go. It's like these things become deities, right? Like, so like somebody shows up and they're like, I'm connected to the deity, or I am the deity, or I am the son of the deity, and you should follow me, and you should labor for me, and I should be your ruler, and you know, by hook or by crook, you know, they get it done. And then more things become the deity. All right, so you don't believe in the Yahweh? Well, you should believe in the free market, the invisible hand of the free market, and then that becomes a deity. You know, like on the right wing, what becomes a boogeyman? What becomes a devil? The liberal media. You know, we haven't proven it exists yet, but it's there, and it's the devil, and it's scary. So come with us on faith. And now this deity in this microcosm is social justice, and someone comes along and they convince you that they are closer to the social justice. They are the son or the daughter or the non-binary child of social justice, and social justice is the deity, and I am the closest one to it. So you must labor for me, share my content, get clicks to my GoFundMe. But there was something wrong with your GoFundMe because you see, your GoFundMe empowers you and helps you.
It's not pure.
Yes. While mine is, as I am the one who is closer to the deity. So you must be gone now. And everybody that is affiliated with me, they must all disassociate with you because, see, now you are out of the village. Go into the woods and survive with the wolves. Good day to you.
I'm done with sandbox politics. Like, I'm really fucking done with sandbox politics. I am over this shit.
Sandbox politics. That just sounds cool. Like, I want to say that now.
But it is. We all can't play in the same fucking sandbox. And it's who are the cool kids and who aren't. And I'm fucking done with it. Like, if you want to step up and do actual fucking work, then step up and do actual fucking work. If you're not out here doing work with us, you ain't got shit to say to me that I want to hear.
But that's not fair because reasons.
And I am not saying work as in physical work. Like, you don't have to be out on the streets pounding pavement. You don't have to have your arms linked in front of stores, you know, for not one dime. You know, because it comes down to social justice should be accessible. But, you know, if you're not saying shit, if you're not using your voice, if you are not using your words, if you are not doing shit to further anything for anyone except yourself, you ain't got shit to say that I want to hear. You can go sit your ass down. I am not here for you.
And I wonder how much of this is a result of social conditioning, honestly. It seems like so many people talk about, you know, equality, equity, liberation, justice, but they are very, very quick to fall into following hierarchies, into having leaders, into having people who can't be questioned, into having different social statuses, different social classes, and definitely replicating systems that we've already seen. And the systems we're supposed to be dismantling. And it's something that we keep doing and keep doing. And, you know, this was something that I mentioned in the thread, William mentioned in the thread, is that as much as we talk about, you know, we should be able to come forward and say this person is being problematic or this person is, you know, doing something fucked up, we can't because the community isn't ready to hear it because the person is on such a pedestal. You can't critique them in any way. So you just kind of sit back until, you know, the community is ready, and in the meantime, there's fucking, you know, 6 months worth of collateral damage that could have been avoided if you were allowed to say it in the first fucking place. But we can't because we have created our own hierarchy, and you have to follow it, and you have to, you know, abide by those rules. You know, you're not allowed to be opposed to it. You're not allowed to disagree. You're not allowed to speak your own, you know, speak your own truth, right? Even though these different groups were created for that purpose, right? We created these groups, we talk about justice for the sole purpose of being able to create something better, and yet at the end of the day, we fucking don't. We don't.
Yeah. And so much of what they do reminds me of like what I hear about those sort of smaller townsy community Christian churches. like how that individual like just threw out that you're gaslighting them. You know, like, well, this is actually the definition of gaslighting, and you're using it wrong. No, no, this is my definition of it. I've redefined it, and now I'm using it. It's like, so you're just throwing out your talking point, just like a Christian just saying, leave it in God's hands. Like, well, what are the Christian talking points? God is good all the time. All the time, God is good.
God is good all the time. God helps those who help themselves.
But what you don't realize, William, is that social justice communities just get to pick and choose whatever language they want and use it however they want and redefine it however they want. That's like a thing
at any given time.
Yeah.
It can change. It can change from one meaning to another meaning within like the same,
conversation.
Right.
Yeah, and you know what that person does? I pointed it out to Fini Loco yesterday. Well, I didn't. I just kind of like added the detail, like, because it's really ill. Because like that person will be disagreeing you with, and redefining words as they go along, as it is convenient. And then this person who is cognitively competent, mentally stable, well, they get up on their two legs at work and they walk over to their refrigerator in their apartment that they can afford by themselves, and they get a cup of name brand juice and they pour that cup of name brand juice with their arms and hands that both also work perfectly fine, and then on their working legs with their working mind they navigate back to the chair where the computer or laptop is, and then with their fingers that also all work they type on the keyboard, "I don't have the spoons for this."
Yeah.
Don't have the spoons. All right, so now you got to try to tell them what that actually means. They're going to say, no, it actually just means how annoyed I am.
Right, it means how annoyed I am. Being triggered means I'm uncomfortable. It doesn't actually mean I'm like triggered. It just means I'm unhappy with the situation. I don't have the spoons doesn't actually refer to disabilities or chronic illness anymore. It refers to being tired and just not wanting to deal with something. Gaslighting doesn't actually mean gaslighting. It means I just don't agree with you, and if you don't agree with me, you're gaslighting me by default. Like, fuck meanings, fuck definitions. Who needs definitions? Who?
Yeah, and that's
but confirming what a definition actually is, or informing someone of what a definition actually is ableism.
It is ableism.
and on me,
only by a certain definition.
You're being so damn pedantic. Jesus Christ.
You are pedantic, William. That's why nobody likes you.
And that's a big part of why I just I talk so much more casual now, because the thing is, just like how there's an inverted hierarchy with them, they also have a respectability politics about them as well. Like, you notice they are very academic, and I just look at that and I'm like, you know what, fuck the respectability politics of the larger society, and fuck your respectability politics too. I'm gonna gum in a thread and I'm gonna talk about fake ass funny style niggas, and I'm just basically gonna talk exactly as if I'm on 23rd Street in 1997. Fuck you. All right, like I don't have to follow your fucking respectability politic.
I don't understand. I do not understand this erudite academia within social justice, because what the fuck is the point of the theory if we're not actually going to be able to use it? If it's so academic that we cannot apply it to life, then what is the point?
Well, because it benefits the hierarchies. Like, I mean, look at the people who have, within like the last year, sort of, done the proverbial fall from grace. Almost all of them relied very heavily on academic language and made people who were unable to access higher education for whatever reason, those people just sort of followed along because they were like, well, this person's using big words I don't understand, and when I ask for an explanation, they make me feel stupid and incompetent, so I'm just going to trust what they say because obviously they know better than me. Because I'm just,
What did Brooks do? When you asked for the, can you explain this further? I can't do this right now, or some shit.
I don't know how to further clarify. Like, what? Oh, okay.
So you don't know how to use a word that is not out of the encyclopedia.
And that is an issue because a lot of people get very uncomfortable and they're like, well, I don't know what they mean, so maybe the problem is me, and maybe I'm stupid, and maybe I'm not smart enough to take a leading role in this conversation and be part of it, so maybe I should just stay in the background and trust this person to do it for me, right? But, and I mean,
and then when we're talking about concepts like poverty, when we're talking about concepts like homelessness, when we're talking about concepts like academic privilege, when we're talking about constructs like ableism, that in and of itself silences voices that are very, very critical to those conversations, because those are the lived experiences of those people. But because your language and your theory is not accessible, they are not a part of a conversation that directly impacts their life. So how in the hell is that social justice?
Right. And honestly, what it reminds me of is a lot of what we see in politics and a lot of what we see in organized religion, where it's like, you know, you have, right, okay, so in Middle Ages, most people can't read. And it's like, well, I don't really, you know, I can't read this, you know, this book of God, what God says, so I'm going to trust my priest, and you better fucking hope you do not have a corrupt priest, right? Because that's the person who can read. That's the person who's explaining to you what God says, because you don't know for yourself and you feel stupid, so you have to trust them. It's the same thing we talk about politics, right? How many people, you know, non-college educated people can just sit down and read a book about economic capitalistic theory and understand it at face value? How many people can sit down and read a proposed bill or a law and read legalese and understand it? You can't, so you have to trust the person who's in charge and hope that they're not going to screw you over. That's what you have to do, because they've made it completely inaccessible to you, even though it affects you, right? You know, we talk about the laws that are made, they always affect poor people the most. They affect the people who have the least amount of resources the most. We talk about a tax increase, who's it going to affect the most? People who are at the poverty line or people who are millionaires? We talk about, you know, these economic principles, trickle-down economics. Who was most affected by that in a negative way? Not the fucking 1%. And yet the people at the bottom don't understand the theory, because that sort of thing is intentionally withheld. And then it becomes a system that is created, right? So they're intentionally denying education and then intentionally speaking over you and making you feel like you don't deserve to be in the conversation, while continuing to deny you education to access the conversation. And that's what we started doing in various social justice circles too, is it's like, I don't have the background in reading Marx that this other person who has a master's degree has, so maybe I should trust my liberation with them because they know more than I do. You know, I've never read economic theory, so maybe I should just trust what this person says about, you know, communism, because I don't know, because I don't have, you know, I have to work 2 jobs. I don't have time to sit down and read it. When I do read it, I don't necessarily understand all the words because it's written from a really academic perspective. You know, so maybe I should just trust this person. And then the people who are being affected, who do, by the way, understand the concepts, right? They don't know they know the concepts because they don't understand the words being used to describe them, but they're very familiar with the concepts, right? You explain, you know, different things when it comes to why crowdfunding works, or, you know, about socialism, about communism, from an academic perspective, they're like, I don't get it. But then you sit down and break down how you live your life, right, on a small scale, and they're like, oh yeah, well, you know, when I have money, I want to help my friends out, so I give my friends money because I think it's better that we should all be able to afford something instead of none of us having it or only one of us having it. And you're like, oh, you know, and when you approach, you know, like communism or Marxism from that way, they're like, oh wait, I've been doing it this whole time. This whole time you made me feel stupid for not understanding your academic theory when I was living my life that way. This whole time. That's what we fucking do. And, you know, it definitely creates that gap of people who don't want to approach a situation or question a situation because they've been made to feel they're incompetent, even though it's their life that is the topic of discussion. The fuck are we doing, man?
Yeah, well, how they keep the information fully from you, and so they can keep making it worse for you. But then, like, I mean, really, like, they really are, because of the inverted hierarchy. It's like when you're on the hierarchy, you want to protect it, so they do become very much like those that want to like maintain male supremacy, cis supremacy, white supremacy, capitalistic supremacy, and and they want to they want to maintain that, and then they really do turn into these folks like those folks that were along with Brooks and the rest of them that were making fun of Nicole Loco, that like when because they thought that she couldn't see the thread any longer. Now juxtapose what they were doing right there, where they're making fun of that person, but then I bet you when they go out in the public fair, they're going to be like, "This is justice." Juxtapose that with those racist themed parties at college campuses. Well, those same college campus kids, before these parties started ending up on social media and everybody knew about them, they could leave that party, then go back out and say, "I would never have anything to do with such a disgusting thing, no." Yeah, so now there's just there's I think screenshots are a great thing. Like screenshots are like are damn near like the police cameras of the internet.
Yeah.
Like, we fucking got you. And it's going to reach a point where folks are just going to deny screenshots. They're just going to say, nah,
not
me.
They already do. Like, well, what was they do which ironically they do the exact same thing that happens when police videos come out. Well, what was the context before it happened? What was happening 10 minutes before the camera started rolling? You know, what was happening in the thread 20 minutes before that screenshot came about? How do you know that screenshot wasn't edited, right? Just like police videos.
All right. I mean, I didn't want to talk about 10 minutes before that police interaction. Let's talk about 500 years before that police interaction. Let's really lead all the way into that police interaction. Let's lead way in. What kind of shit was your father saying to you at the dinner table about the blacks when you were a little boy? You know,
but we can't get caught up in history because that doesn't matter because we have to move forward and what's happening now is what's important, but not without context and stuff and things.
Very, very important things. You know, I don't know. I'm just very anti-hierarchy, and yet people always, I don't want a hierarchy, and yet they keep falling into them over and over and over again. It's just disappointing because people like to abuse the authority that they're given.
Yeah. And then like I'll probably have to ask other people because like I am me, so I can't be on the outside looking in, so I have to ask other people like, what the fuck am I doing that shit? Am I that fucking guy? No, I'm generally mean.
You are generally mean. And I think that that's a very difficult thing too, because you want to try to do your best not to be an asshole, but at the same time, like, it's very difficult because you're doing a lot of things without being able to get understanding from the community, right? Because we have these people that have the social capital, we have these people that are higher up on this new inverse hierarchy, and you know, nobody ever wants to speak out against them. Nobody wants to say anything about them. Nobody wants to be the one to talk about the screen caps, especially not in public. So then when you say something in public, you're like, all right, well, I'm the only one who's saying it, so am I right in what I'm doing? Like, is my shit together, or you know what? Like,
and this also ties back to this whole, like, call-out culture is absolutely necessary. We need to be able to tell people when they're fucking up. We need to be able to hear for ourselves when we are fucking up. but it's mutated into this weird, toxic, venomous thing where call-outs are now about not liking someone, not about whether or not what they are actually saying in that moment is fucked up. It's about where they fit in the hierarchy and whose squad has more power.
Right.
Yeah, and I think that was the logical conclusion of it anyway. Like as soon as folks start doing that as a regular practice, that is exactly where it was going to go, simply because it's built in a hierarchy. That's why I tell folks, like, I don't call out, I point out. I just point out some whack shit, and I'm like, hey, homie, that was some whack shit right there. Like, if one thing that one may have noticed is that my followers list, which I consider the friends list to be, for the most part, a followers list. Like 20 people on there are like friends. You know, I mean, nobody has 2,000 fucking friends. All right, that's a followers list. And then there's the other followers list. And throughout all of these situations, those numbers never go down. They only increase on a weekly and monthly basis. Like, it's so. Really, and for one, because I'm not trying to push people away. Like, who's that kid? Path Lasky. Like, I spent a whole thread. I blew about like 30 minutes of irreplaceable time from the only life I'm going to live, just getting at Path Lasky on his whack shit in the thread. But he's still there. Who's that kid? Carl Heidick, Greco's homeboy. Like that fool. I remember he tried to jump in a conversation, and I was like, don't comment in this thread, Carl, because you fuck these threads up. And he's gonna jump in my inbox. I'm like, and I jump back in the thread. Don't private message me. Just go away from this thread for a while, you know. But Carl's still on my shit. Like I could still tap that nigga on the shoulder here and there, you know. Like I don't call out. I just point out. Like, no, you're whack on this topic, and you probably shouldn't even be in this thread. You're doing some corny shit over there. What the fuck is your deal? Yo, tie your shoes. You know, like, just fucking point out. Don't call out. Tie your shoes. All right. Is that about it? Was it? It's 4:25. Is it late brunch time? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, I think I'm done for the day. I have to go study for a chemistry final on Monday.
Jesus Christ. You bitch. All right, yeah. So that is Social Justice Bullies. I do not have the closing music queued up. I should just send Ricky the instrumental so he can edit it in post, because he's going to take this YouTube and render it to an MP3 and send it off to the RSS feed as a podcast. So the video will be here. The audio will be there. Folks will be able to hear the bullies. And we're actually going to bring this shit back up in further detail. And if folks know anything about me, you know, I say names. I don't say they, them, and who didn't know. No. I say your fucking name. I will put your name in the show description, and I will link your profile. Don't be a piece of shit. I get at you. All right? I get at you. Because I have that hip-hop background. I have that hip-hop battler background where you see another MC and you're like, hey, yo, you're whack on the mic. You know, say, you know, some guys that wear white baseball caps might be whack on the mic. Just saying. No. I fucking say Dave over there. All right, so that's fucking Social Justice Bullies. Ricky Loco, he had to go do light-skinned stuff. Lisa Loco has to go do Negro stuff. Feeny Loco, she's fucking black. And that's the goddamn program.